Hey everybody, Tanya here, founder and coach of Hustle to Muscle Fitness. I am a coach with Team Beachbody, and I myself have lost 78 pounds to date. And it's taken me a few years to do it, but I've been able to keep the weight off. And so now I like to take what I've learned, my experiences, pitfalls, failures, successes, and I like to help other people reach their health and fitness goals. So I'd like to thank you all for joining me on HMF Live. This is episode 3, and something that I want to try and do, or I'm going to try to remember to do with each of these episodes, is to always to do that little introduction, so that way you guys know who I am, and for new viewers, you guys can get an idea of who I am and why I do the things that I do when it comes to health and fitness. So if this is glitchy, I apologize. As some of you may know, where I live, which is kind of out in the boonies, the internet service isn't always great. So, and when it's windy like it is right now, it kind of gets worse. So I apologize in advance. But all right, so this week I wanted to talk a little bit about two things. We're going to talk about hydration and your health and how important water is. And then I'm also going to talk about something that's actually pretty personal subject for me, and that's caring for the caregiver. But before I do, I want to just kind of make some quick announcements so you guys know some of the things that are coming up in the world of Hustle to Muscle Fitness, and maybe if hopefully you find something interesting, you'll join me. So first things first, next Monday, I'm going to be doing a 5-day clean eating challenge. Now it sounds more intensive really than it is. It's pretty easy. We do it through a private Facebook group, and I will lay out the grocery list and the meal plans, and all you have to do, and all I'll be doing, is following the meal plan and then participating in the group. So that might be answering questions, posting pictures of your food, checking in, let us know how it's going. It's a lot of fun, and I usually will give a prize away at the end of that 5 days. And weight loss may be a goal of yours. This could be a great way to get started. You may just want to clean up your diet, and this is a good way to start that as well. I've seen some people lose as much as 12 pounds in 5 days. Now that seems like a lot, or seems like it might be unhealthy, but I trust you. We eat all healthy, whole foods. There's no gimmick, I guess you could say. There's no diet pills, nothing like that. We drink lots of water. We eat really well. And actually, the meal plan is like 5 small meals a day. So, and most people will tell me that they feel pretty full on this plan. So I think when they have that sort of drastic weight loss in the 5 days, it's because, one, they're drinking a lot more water and it's helping to flush a lot of crap out of their system, and 2, their diet might have been so poor before that just this sort of shock to the system causes it to just drop some weight, and you know, the bloated salt water weight. So anyway, if that sounds like something you'd like to give it a shot, please let me know. I am going to be adding people into the group until probably Saturday night, Sunday morning, because you need to have time to get your grocery shopping done this week. So, and it's a free challenge. The only thing you need are the groceries that you'll need for the plan. So if you've got a lot of stuff in your house already, you might be already halfway there. So it is a lot of fun. I always enjoy these groups and getting the aha moments from everybody. And even myself, like you saw Pizza Baby last week, getting rid of that and, you know, cleaning myself up and feeling a lot better. So join me. It's so much fun. I really, really hope you do. One of my coaches is also recruiting folks, and she's got like 15 or 16 people. So if we get this thing to be big, it'll be awesome and a lot of fun. So that's first thing. The other thing is in July, I'll be doing a new 30-day kind of an online boot camp fitness challenge, and it's Operation Liberation. So it's summertime, so we are liberated from all of our winter clothes. Yay, I love summer. But it's liberating yourself from your excuses, liberating yourself from putting off your goals, liberating yourself from poor health, from poor choices. It's time to free yourself of if you've got weight to lose, free yourself of the weight. If you have mental weight, baggage that you need to lose. Now, I mean, you may not lose all that mental baggage in 30 days, but you can make some pretty good strides in getting yourself to a much better place mentally and emotionally. So it's all about being free. Whatever it is that's weighing you down, whether that's physically, emotionally, mentally, that's what this is going to be about. Operation Liberation is going to be in effect. We will start July 5th. I'm going to give everybody the holiday because I know how it goes, because I know how I love it. So But we get you on a fitness plan that works for you, your goals, your needs, your limitations, or your challenges, whatever it is that you prefer to do. And then you get a nutrition system, a plan to follow with that. Usually they're pretty flexible and pretty easy to follow. And then you will also get a lot of other tools, meal planning tips. So if you struggle with how to prepare meals, if you struggle with how to do meal prep or plan your week, you'll get all of these kinds of tips and support within the system. So whatever within the challenge. So if you have goals that you want to reach, you've been putting them off all year, and you realize, crap, it's summer and I still haven't done anything. It's not too late. It's never too late. If you're still living, breathing, walking, able to do things, it's not too late. So I hope that you will join us. Shoot me a message. Again, we do this as an exclusive group, and we have a lot of fun. And I usually give away a $50 gift card to like Nike or something at the end. So you could lose some weight or gain your weight if you're looking to increase muscle mass, that sort of thing. And then go shopping with your new body at the end of the 30 days. So hit me up for that, because that'll be a lot of fun too. All right, what else? You always see me poaching. You always see me posting about this life that I am now starting to really live and dig into more, which is coaching and helping other people, and the opportunities that gives me. Not just in like, oh, we did the cruise in March, and oh, doing this and that, and oh, this money, or like that's a bonus, I guess. But I have become a different person since I've gotten into coaching, and mentally, emotionally, much more as driven as I was before. I thought I was anyway in my career. I'm far more driven, and I know now, it's not always easy, but I know now how to get my mind in the right place for things that I'm working hard for. I know what my goals are, not just in my professional career, but I know what I want in my family. I know what I want in my financial life. I'm actually taking action to do these things. And I can honestly say that coaching has made that happen, has been the biggest difference. And I can't even begin to describe to you how rewarding it is when someone messages me from my team and says, oh my gosh, I lost 12 pounds. I haven't been able to do that because I haven't been consistent or whatever. Or I love these challenge groups because I'm able to actually do programs. Or my husband is telling me that, wow, you're actually sticking to it this time. Like those little small wins, seeing people like make that mind shift into like, this is not a diet, this is a way of life. Or I wanted to gain 10 pounds and I'm already halfway there. Or I feel like I've got so much more energy, I can run around and play with my kids. I have so much more self-confidence. Like that is one of the most rewarding things I've experienced. And again, coaching has made it possible. So if you are wanting to experience or learn about how you can experience the opportunities, but also the benefits, the mental and emotional pick-me-ups that you get from coaching. And you just want to check it out and find out how I got into it. I'm hosting a coach sneak peek next Tuesday. I think that's the 20th. Okay, sorry everybody, had to move locations because, again, internet connection problems. So I apologize. Okay, so here we go. Anyways, as I was saying, next Tuesday, I've got a behind the scenes, kind of a behind the scenes look at what is coaching. It's a coach sneak peek. It's next Tuesday, the 22nd. So if you would like to be a part of that, please let me know. You get to check it out. We give you lots of information, another coach and I, and then you get to ask us lots of questions, and there's no obligation to become a coach. It's just a great way to find out more about what it is that we do as coaches and why we love it so much. So those are the things that are coming up in Hustle Muscle Fitness. And so I hope that you will join me for one, if not all of those things, because it can really set you up with a great system of support. So, all right, let's get into tonight's topic. So as I said, we're going to talk about hydration and caregivers. So let's start off with water, because we're in summer or just about into summer season. And so water is always important, but especially when the temperature starts to rise. So a lot of people will say, I work out, I eat well, my sleep's pretty good, but I'm still not losing weight. And sometimes it can be just that simple thing of drinking enough water. Water is a huge and fabulous and important tool in your health, weight loss, weight gain, whatever your goals are. Water is important because like 70%, if not more, of our bodies are made up with water. Your organs, in order for them to function, your brain, in order for it to work properly and shoot neuron messages throughout your body, like all of that stuff is all dependent on water. It's like the lubrication for our bodies. It's sort of like your body's, it's sort of like the equivalent of oil in a car. Your car needs high quality oil and enough of it. Your body also needs high quality water and enough of it. So if you work out, in very intensely, you especially need a lot more water. Something that may not be, I apologize, now I'm out here with my dogs. Something that you may not know, and I'm learning more, especially because Gary has some major back issues, is how important water is if you have back and disc issues, joint issues. If you experience those kinds of things, and I'm learning this because he wasn't always great about water, drinking it. So you actually, if you have those issues, you actually need to really up your water intake, almost like you were working out, like, you know, an advanced athlete or something, because your discs absorb the water, but it takes a lot longer of a process. It's not the same way that your organs or your blood or whatever absorbs water. It really takes a lot more water to finally get into your discs to hydrate them properly. And that's really what helps to also increase the cushion, that essentially what your discs are for. So it helps you also, another thing people mistake with water, when their stomach, you know, they have hunger pains and their stomach growls, they instantly think, oh, I must be hungry, time to go eat something. And sometimes you're just dehydrated, you just need water. So I'm going to challenge you, all of you out there, when you watch this, I'm going to challenge you to actually go, and the next time your stomach growls, especially if you ate recently, try drinking 8 to 12 ounces of water first and see if that helps to subside your hunger pangs. Because I'm guessing a lot of times you might actually just be thirsty. And that's the other thing. If you've gotten to the point where you are thirsty and craving water, you're already into dehydration. So it's important that you stay up on your water. I usually tell folks at a minimum to try and hit 60 ounces of water a day, but ideally you should really try to hit half of your body weight in ounces of water. So if you weigh 150 pounds, you should strive for at least 75 ounces of water. Now I know that sounds like a lot, especially if you if you don't drink a lot of water already. But if you train yourself in the habit of drinking, you know, even a glass of water, 8 ounces of water, like every hour, like during your 8-hour workday, you're already at 64 ounces, and that doesn't sound so bad, right? A tip I will give you that I give a lot of my challengers: if you have problems remembering to drink water, download the app that's called Hydro, and you can set up your water goals, you can set up reminders, your phone will go off and say, hey, don't forget to get your water in. And I've had a lot of clients that have had a lot of success with increasing their water intake by using that app until it becomes a natural habit for you. So that's one little tip. Well, actually two, because I also told you how much you should be really drinking in water. So, okay, so it helps to suppress appetite. It helps to increase your metabolism. Again, your body can work and function properly and better and at a more efficient rate if it's well hydrated. It boosts your energy levels. Sometimes you might be feeling sluggish. I've seen I apologize to calling him out, but my example of health issues, a lot of times is Gary. I have seen him go into such severe dehydration that it requires us going into the ER and them using an IV, because he's now become so nauseous that he can't even hold down water drinking it the normal way. So, but he gets super sluggish. He's very tired and lethargic. That's because he's dehydrated. And so if you start to feel that way, and there's no other possible reason why you would be feeling that way, try drinking some water before you get sick, and before you need to go into the ER and have it done intravenously. So it's also a great way to release toxins, flush out toxins from your body. Between your kidney and your liver, all of these organs, they are working to help get rid of the stuff that's really bad for you, and water helps them to do that. So I would definitely stay up on your water, especially if you've been eating a lot of crap or processed foods, or if you've been sick, or if you are, or if you have been even drinking a lot of alcohol or sugary drinks, caffeine, that's another big one. Make sure that you are drinking lots of water to help flush out those things, help your organs out. Don't work against them, work with them. It can also, this one sounds kind of backwards, but drinking more water can actually help reduce water retention. And you're thinking, well, wait, that doesn't, how the hell does that work? It doesn't even make sense. So basically, a lot of times we hold on to water because our sodium levels are so high, or our sodium intake. And so by drinking more water, that can help flush out that sodium and actually help your body release the water it's holding on to because of the excess salt. So it sounds backwards, but I promise you that it does help. And my dogs are here wrestling because I'm standing here. It can help alleviate headaches. A lot of times the veins, like basically your blood veins in your head surrounding your brain, can constrict if they don't have enough water. And so that's another reason to drink it if you suffer from headaches a lot for no reason. Now, sometimes I know, like especially with women, you know, we tend to suffer from headaches or migraines, especially around our monthly cycles or monthly periods, PMS, that sort of thing. It's even more important to drink water then, because your body is already in a state of sort of flux with the hormones, and it's playing lots of nasty tricks on us. So keep drinking water to help flush and to help keep your body as regulated as possible. It can also reduce your blood pressure, again, releasing the constriction of your blood vessels. And it can ease joint pain. It's the same thing as I mentioned for your discs. Your joints also need to have that lubrication so that they can more easily move. And water is the oil of our engines. So it's super important, you know, and I know there's a ton of other benefits to water. This is obviously not a master class in water, but what I would recommend that you do, it's a terrific podcast that I listen to where I get a lot of my information about health and wellness. It's called The Model Health Show, and the host is Sean Stevenson. And if you go back to, like, I think it's one of the early episodes, like episode 35 or 70, I'm sorry, I don't remember. But he actually has a masterclass episode on hydration. And I mean, it's like an hour-long podcast, but they're very entertaining, so it won't feel so bad. But he goes into the ins and outs of the different types of water, the different benefits, the quality, how important the different quality bottled water versus tap water, etc., etc. So I highly suggest that you check that out, because like I said, it's a masterclass. You will get far more information than just the little tidbits that I have given you here. And it could be a great way for you to also get some more tips on how to get better at drinking water on a more regular basis. So, all right, I'm going to leave water there. If you have any other questions about hydration specifically, feel free to drop in the comments below. If I don't know the answer, I'll do the research and I will definitely get back to you. So, and if I do know the answer, I will still respond. All right, so let's move on to, like I said, something that's a little bit more near and dear and personal to my heart, and that's caregivers. Not caretakers, caregivers. So something that many of you may not know about me is that, and I do share it. It's nothing that I necessarily keep private, but so my husband Gary, he's 40, he's a few years older than I am, and he unfortunately suffers from chronic pain, and sometimes it can be very debilitating. Since he and I have been together 13 years, we've gone through, well, with him, we've gone through 1, 2, 3, 4, I want to say 4 surgeries, and then a couple of procedures regarding his kidneys. And so he has health issues, degenerative disc disorder, and then just, you know, a little bit of it being irresponsible adolescent. And then some of it is just as a result of the initial surgeries. So as such, there have been times where he is completely off his feet. When he had his back surgery, it was months. When he had his hernia surgeries, it was like weeks, almost a couple of months. When he had his kidney stone issue back in the fall and even into the winter, I mean, that was on and off for a good I don't know, 4 months, 6 months. And some of those really would take him down for, 2 weeks at a time, depending on the procedure. So I spend some of my time, some of our relationships, some of my life with him as a caregiver. Now, I'm not saying that in any sort of bitter kind of way. In fact, I kind of think that caregiving has been part of my calling without realizing it. If I go way back to when I was growing up, I was raised by my grandparents. And of course, by the time they took us in, they were already 60s, 70s. And so by the time I was getting into high school, even my older sister, towards the end of their lives, we were doing a lot for them. So, for instance, my sister at 13 was learning how to give my grandmother her insulin shots and take her blood sugar. That's crazy as a 13-year-old. By the time I got into high school, and she did this too, I was making a lot of their meals. Thankfully, I didn't have to get into the the diabetes, the shots, stuff like that. But I would help her, my grandmother, I'd help her to the restroom. I'd help her give her baths. And then even with my grandpa, a little bit after I'd gone off to college and I'd come home, and he'd be at the house by himself. I remember one night, sleeping and hearing a huge thud, and I run out to the living room, and he is sprawled out on the floor because he was trying to get to the restroom, and he fell. This guy was like 250, 280 pounds. And I wasn't strong enough to get him on his feet, but I had to kind of drag him back to the bed so he could push himself up. So it's not nearly that drastic with Gary, and now I'm a lot stronger. Gary's a lot lighter. I probably could pick him up if I needed to. But my point being is I have spent a lot of my life as a caregiver. And so I think I'll do maybe another show another time to talk about the chronic pain patient. But today I want to talk about the caregivers, because if any of you, like me, know what it's like to take care of ailing parents, ailing grandparents, maybe you have severely disabled children, maybe you're taking care of a disabled spouse or sibling. And so a lot of times it's very easy to get wrapped up in their needs, what they need, how's their health, are they taken care of? And that is important, and I'm not taking anything away from that. But I also know from personal experience how important it is to take care of you, the caregiver. Now that means, and you'll say, well, I don't have time, I got to do this, and I got appointments, and I really do get it. This time I really do get it. But what good are you to that person if you are worn down, if you are sick yourself, if you don't have the strength or the energy to take them to appointments or to help bathe them or to cook or clean up after them? Of course, some of that depends on how severe their disability is. With Gary, I don't have to necessarily bathe them and things like that. There have been times, like after surgeries, where I have, but you have to take care of yourself. You need to eat well. That's your energy. If you can get in a workout, amazing. If nothing else, get in yoga, because that's a great way to restore balance, to restore your mind, kind of renew the spirit even, breathing, all of that kind of brings your levels back down. So it's so important that you are eating the foods that fuel you properly so that you feel good. And then whenever you're tired, or if you're tired or whatever, you end up being cranky and you take it out on them. And it can create a whole new snowball effect of discontent, essentially. So this message is really to caregivers. You have to kind of learn to also know how your body's going to feel the best. For me, I know if I eat too many bread carbs, I'm going to feel sluggish. I'm going to feel bloated. Or if I eat too much salt, that's another one. I'm going to feel like my fingers are all swollen. If I'm not drinking enough water. If I'm eating lots of proteins, lots of veggies, moderate amounts of fruit, that's when I'm going to feel the best. Getting healthy fats in there. That's how I'm going to feel the best. I'm going to feel sharp. My brain's going to be alert. I'll be able to also get well rested. If I'm all bloated and like I feel sluggish and heavy, my sleep sucks, And that's the other thing too, is getting sleep. Now, I know sometimes with your relative that might be in pain, they're not getting the greatest sleep, and that might cause you to lose sleep. I really do get that. But at the same time, there comes a point where you realize that, like, you know, if you've done everything possible for them for that evening, you know, do your best to get quality sleep. Even if you can't do the whole 8 hours, whatever sleep you do get, 4 hours, get quality sleep. You know, lights are off, sounds are off, you're off your phone, getting as best sleep as you can, because that is what's going to keep you going when the people that rely on you, that need you the most, when they're going to really need you. So I cannot stress enough how important it is. Sorry. Hey! I can't stress enough how important it is for the caregiver to get the proper rest and the proper self-care that they need. So I'm going to keep this message short. Like I said, I really do know what it's like to stress and to worry about the caregiver, to be the caregiver, how stressful that is. And honestly, part of that is why at 28, I had blood pressure of like 190 over 110 or something insane, because of how much stress I was under between work, grad school, and then the issues, the health issues going on with Gary. And my doctor saying, if you don't change this, you're going to have a stroke by the time you're 30. So believe me, I know what it's like to stay up late and get home at 3 in the morning, or have to leave at 3 in the morning to go to the ER. I know what it's like to, you know, pretty much take your only day off throughout the week and spend it all day at the ER. I know what it's like to have to take them to appointment after appointment after appointment to make sure they're taking their meds on time, to make sure they're eating properly, to make sure they're drinking lots of water. Are you sensing a theme with that today? I really do know what it's like. And I know how hard it is, and I know how stressful it is. That's why I feel like I can really hammer this point home. If you are a caregiver, you have to take care of yourself. Almost as much, if not even more, than you're taking care of your relative, your family member. Because you're no good to them. And I tell this to parents too. You're no good to your kids if you are sick. What kind of parent are you going to be if you don't ever want to go outside and play with your kid because you're tired, you're sick, you have no energy, you're lethargic, whatever. So if you care for anybody else, and I mean not like I care about you, but I mean if you care for them, take care of them, you need to make sure that you are taking care of yourself. So, all right, I'm going to wrap this up because my dog is coughing up and they're making all kinds of noise. And I hope that I have really brought this point home. And maybe, like I said, in a future episode, I will bring Gary on here and we will talk about chronic pain, suffering, and health, mental health, that sort of thing. Because I know there's a lot of people out there that probably follow me that also are on the other end of being the one taken care of. So, all right. I hope you guys have a great week. It's Tuesday night. I hope you have an awesome week, and we're heading into Father's Day, so to all you dads out there, happy Father's Day. I hope you have a wonderful day with your kids, your family, or your parents. Yeah, so have a very healthy day, and I will see you guys next week on HMF Live. Bye.